Hi, I'm Ellie. This is the third of a series of three. And in the first two segments, I discussed creating Python code that listens to the N2YO API on my laptop, pushes JSONs to the event stream, gets them written to the KQL, and I showed how you quickly create a Power BI report in the web or on my laptop pointing at the KQL. So now is the time to talk about sewing in Python, and not through the Power BI Python widget, but through the Fabric capabilities, where you got actually an experience that is similar to Databricks to an extent, and to Synapse to another extent, i.e., you get a Python notebook that is connected to a Spark environment, and you write PySpark code. So here's my KQL data that we created last time. If I will go now to either the data science blade or the real-time analytics environment, you'll see that I have here a notebook. This is the one I wanted to show you. So I've connected this notebook to a lake house that I've already pre-created. And because I've already run it in the past, you'll see that it already contains some tables. So let me just walk you through this code whilst the tables are being exposed here. So obviously a lot of PySpark capabilities, functionality that I will use later on because I wanted to do some specific things. The most important thing is this Titan token library wrapper, which actually serves this particular cell where I copied the URI from the previous screen where it told me where to find the particular KQL data, and I query it and get a Spark data frame. I think I mentioned it also in the previous segment. You do get a variable called dollar ingestion time. However, that does not get propagated and populated automatically into the other databases. And it's really good to extract the date and the time as separate variables, as I've done here. And because I wanted to use particular widgets within Power BI, those widgets expected a string from the satellite ID. I converted to a string, no problem. Then I create here a flag that is one when this is the latest observation for this particular category and for this particular location. Would be useful in particular reports where I just want the latest observation. And this particular bit is the interesting one where I actually calculate the distance between one satellite to another satellite within a given location. So when this location sees the satellite, what's the distance between them, and then I rank them. And then I write the data back into the lakehouse that I connected here. Now, what I've discovered after a lot of pain, because I don't read the documentation properly, is if you just do save as table, this is nicely stored in the lakehouse. Let me go and show you how it looks in the lakehouse in a second. Here I'm writing just the Paquet files. I will get this one over here, and I instead of the summary file, I also write the full file with the extra variables that I've table with the extra variables that I created under this lakehouse table. And then I realized that these tables, although they are seen in the lakehouse, they are not visible to Power BI because Power BI just looks at the SQL layer. Uh, and to get them visible in the SQL layer, i.e. to Power BI, I actually need to use the Delta format, which makes sense now because the whole point of Fabric is Parquet files Delta format, right? So I write the same tables, the summarized data frame with the distances and the full upgraded uh, data frame uh, as delta formats, and these will flow to the Power BI. Let's have a look. So if I go to, let's say, data engineering for now, go to the Lakehouse, you can see all four tables here, and the delta tables are marked as a delta table. Perfect. Nice. Happy days. You can actually create a semantic model, which I definitely recommend doing because it creates the links and so forth. So that's an integral part for working in Fabric. However, when you go and you say, don't show me the lakehouse, show me the SQL Analytics endpoints, please. Then you see here only the this one is the KQL database. That's the KQL table. And these two, this and this, are the tables that I put in the lakehouse in Delta format. Now these are obviously all exposed to Power BI, and if I create a new report, I'll just get a new report on that. And you can create a query or a visual query, really nice. So if I will go now to my Power BI and find the report I created earlier, this one. So I look at that distances matrix that I've created, and I show it with a network graph. And then there you are. You can see the three tables that were in the SQL layer and some internal tables to do with the event. And I'm using the distance matrices to feed this custom widget that just shows them as a network because I calculated from satellite ID to satellite ID and I listed the distance and the ranking and so forth. So just to summarize, what we're doing is listening to an API, pushing it to an event stream, writing it like KQL, processing it in Python so you can do significant intelligence and you can schedule this Python to run on a regular basis. Within the Fabric, you've got something that is actually the data factory, so you can schedule it there and feed the results into tables that Power BI can see and present. Thank you very much for listening.